All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other places to watch this. I'm trying to see 2930. So this probably is episode 52. All right. Yeah, to see this content. The best place and the place you're going to want to go this time is the blog. And the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And why do I say that? Because I finally got one of those commercials. Remember I told you there's two commercials they keep showing over and over and over. And they're really funny. And one, in my opinion, is funnier than the other. I didn't get that one, but I got the other one. So if you are listening and you don't want to hear all the stuff because the news is boring, but we're going to cover it just to do a weekend wrap up because that's what this is. Well, Sunday and Monday. But so you could go to the blog. So if wherever you are listening or watching, look for an open, more intro, info, description, something of that nature. Click on that or whatever. Another box will open and a link directly to the blog will open. And the blog is free. You don't have to put your email in. You don't have to join or whatever. You just be right there at what you're looking at, except it won't say preview. And of course, where do I put the other stuff? And there's two things under other stuff today, all the way down at the bottom of the blog. All right. So let's see. Rumble, I am my FX Buddies, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever I post or get posted, I am my FX Buddies. Spotify.com has audio and video. All right, and YouTube, everything that I show is covered under fair use disclaimer because I'm using it to share, comment, critique, teach, or the other one. So, fair use disclaimer. All right, so let's get into it. So, they are currently in Eid, depending on where you are, even in Iraq. There was this big dilemma. Let's call it a dilemma because three different people who have the right to say when a designated day or holiday starts had three different answers. So yeah, that was a big deal. They were blaming Sudani, saying he was causing interference, and it was crazy. I mean, that's how serious they are about their stuff, you know. But then they compromised and they came up, I think. But I know yesterday was day one. So I guess today would be day two, and they're doing 3 days. The federal part of Iraq is doing 3 days. Kurdistan's doing 5 days. So we could be back to normal news, say, by Wednesday, or maybe not till Friday. But then again, Friday's their holiday, right? So they start all over again. But it won't be as elaborate or, it'll just be their regular holiday. But anyway, so yeah. All right, so I did want to post because, they may surprise me. And tomorrow, which would be Tuesday, April 1st, there might be a lot of news. So I wanted to post today. Yeah, and I'll try to keep it like 20 minutes. Okay, so for today, you know what, this might have even been yesterday. I don't know. But Iraq Central Bank, we will launch a major initiative to finance industrial projects. Oh, speaking of industrial projects, if you didn't see that project resident, well, it's not even resident because it's going to be everything, but it is a city. It's gorgeous, beautiful. I don't even know. I don't even have words to describe it. But it would be here or here. I don't know. I wonder why the numbers don't show here. And I can't click here anyway because this is preview, not live. But it's the one prior to this one. So this is 52. It's episode 51. I just can't think of the title of it right now. But it's going to look like Dubai. It's going to have these beautiful living towers, theaters, recreation things, waterways. They're making a lake. Well, we call it a lake, but that's why I'm calling it a waterway. But it is Pavilion by Rams Global. You could probably search that, and it's in Erbil. It's in Kurdistan. Beautiful. But I have the website there. You could click the website and go see it and see the investor program information. Kind of like what is that thing they give you? It starts with a P. It'll come to me while I'm talking about the other stuff. Okay. Anyway, so yes, it would be worth all of that jibber jabber you just had to listen to see it if you didn't already see it. All right. So we know who this guy is, right? Ali Locke, the central bank governor. Yes. So he said that. I'm not sure where he said it. Okay, so he did say it on Sunday. Its intention to launch a major initiative to finance industrial products in cooperation with the Trade Bank of Iraq and the Industrial Bank. So you could read this. You should read this. So they're doing all of that. Major initiative to finance industrial projects in Iraq, which will soon see the light of day, said the central bank governor, Ali Locke, to the news. Yeah. So they just got to get this little banking reform thing done, right? And they'll get right on it. All other projects are funded according to their sectoral channels as part of the government's general approach to support industrial, agricultural, housing, education, health, investment, and other projects. So this that project, that Rams thing, no, pavilion thing, I think it's not included in this, what they're talking about, because they are soliciting investors, open investors, and from anywhere, right? And it's in English. Now that I think about it, if you go to the website, it's in English. Yeah, so they are looking for, and man, let me tell you, if I had some money, I would invest in it. It would be high risk, but I would do it. It's very nice. Okay, so let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I really don't want to talk about this, but I want you to see it. Massive strikes hit 100 plus H people targets in Yemen. So there was a lot of back and forth. We're claiming that some of their top people were taken out. They're claiming there was just some injuries. They're claiming that they have hit an airport in Ice Cream Land again, and claiming they hit the Harriet, no, the Truman, one of those ships that carries other ships. I don't mind saying this word either. I just can't think of it. Oh well, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. And so I did see a headline today where it said the Pentagon confirms injuries to fighters. I think they used the word fighters, but it was not on that ship. It was something like MQ-8J6. It was something like that. And it was going so fast I couldn't get it. So there's still things happening that still have me thinking we're going to be here till June. Okay. So yeah, this is one article you could read. And then the reason I say, I know there were some people that were very excited about the weekend, but not me. I was not, because over the weekend there was escalation of rhetoric, right? But we have to be serious, because our new person, he usually says what he means, right? He means what he says. And Iran, probably the same. And they did mention, yeah, that Diego Garcia, it's in range of our, things that propel through the air and hit stuff. And then there's a fire. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So that was the first time I have ever seen them specifically say something like that. Yeah. So with that being the way that it is, until there's some resolution, even a decrease, right? De-escalation in the rhetoric, I don't see us going. All right. So they hadn't talked about the passage of oil and gas law for a while. So it was like someone said, hey, we should just throw them a little article, hey, yeah, the oil and gas law is still over here and still not done. So that happened. I could care less about this, but it was a big story. Iraq surpasses Saudi Arabia in oil exports to the U.S., but that could change at any minute, right? So, but I did post it, and I wanted it to be brought to your attention because, like I said, it was a really big story over there. So what's this? This is an article. I think I talked about this. Yeah, because I did a post on Saturday. But if you didn't know, over the weekend, because the budget was put out in $200 billion, there was some excitement going on in the Twitter sphere, right? And it was almost like, so they put this article out on Sunday, almost like to quash all that, right? Iraq's budget in limbo, funding woes and oil risks grow. But it says right here, the budget is 198. It's in trillions, which trillions of dinars, right? Which is in billions of dollars. So, and there's really no new information here, but I do like this article because it's like a compilation of some things that have been said by certain people, like here, Mohammed Saleh, the financial advisor, right, to the prime minister. And for this section, implementation hurdles, right? Then they quoted someone else, the crude calculation. So this is a good article if you want to read like a little snippet on every aspect of what goes on with the oil. And oil is like 97, 95, whatever percent of their revenue. So that's why it's super important to Iraq, right? So yeah, Baghdad and the Kurdish region rift. And there was articles coming out. I may have covered it on Saturday, but the Kurds, matter of fact, the IOC, which is International Oil Companies, they came out and said they believe Baghdad is single-handedly, unilaterally is the word that was used, manipulating the contracts. So that's a pretty big accusation, right? To make unless you have something to back it up with, right? Iraq is accelerating its efforts to wean itself off Iranian gas. What are the immediate alternatives? So this guy, Haytham, he's on this committee, Parliamentary Electricity and Energy Committee, and he's very positive that they're going to get substitute for the Iranian gas, but he's just one man. One man. Because there's other people who say, we're not going to be able to fill, fill in for the what the gas or whatever, electricity or whatever Iran provided. So, just you can ask 5 people the same question and you get 5 answers, right? Same thing over there. I thought this was interesting. This is Alawi. He is a previous prime minister and he was well liked. At least it seemed he was well liked by the people. That he was never, and he was in before I started reading articles, so I had to actually go back and read on him. And I think he may be the only prime minister not accused of any corruption. Even if it's falsely accused, right? So, and so here's Sadani. He's probably in his early 60s. He's probably 25 to 30 years older than him. But he went to him to talk to him about strengthening government efforts to achieve economic reform. And look, there's 2 sentences in this article and they're exactly the same. So why is it so important? They put this in the news, but just 1 sentence. So I thought that was very interesting. And here, Sadani gave the speech to to the people on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. But listen to this. We renew our commitment to implementing the government's program. That's his program. See, if that was me, I'd have been like, to implement my program, right? But no. He says the government's program in all its service, social, and economic dimensions, and to continue working at all times and under all circumstances without interruption, and to exert every effort for reconstruction and development in accordance with what is required by the supreme interests of our people. And I don't recall them ever calling the people supreme. Supreme is usually before a person, a holy man, or a judge, or something. So I thought that was interesting. The supreme interest of our people and the aspiration of all its citizens. And there's my one commercial. Buy me a coffee. Thank you to those of you who have, and to those of you who will. And look at this little thing over here. If you click that, oh, you can't click it right now because it's not live, but if you click that, you don't even have to go to the website. It stays here. Some box pops up or something, and it won't even take you to their website. You'll stay here on the blog, and then that's the QR code. All right. Look at that. So now these are from today. Just the ones that I wanted to put. So there was lots of discussion about this. Our new president to visit Saudi Arabia in mid-May. But then when you read it and the others, he may go. He might go. And 4 other countries, Qatar, of course, he's going to go to Qatar because they're the they're the mediators between one of them. They're one of the mediating countries between us and Iraq. So yeah, you can read that if you'd like. They ran this. And it seemed counterproductive to all the good news they had been running. So I'm not sure why they put this out. But Iraq's domestic debt is expected to rise to 81 trillion dinars in 2024. 2024 is over unless they are going through the 2024 budget, which I'm hoping that's what they're doing. They're reconciling, and what's the other thing you do? But same kind of thing, just has a different word. So I'm hoping that's what they're doing because they're not supposed to certify the current year's budget without having the final accounting done for the last one. So, sometimes they try to do things by the Constitution. So I'm hoping that's why they put this article out. But we shall see. Okay, and then this today was another major announcement. And it's just about the bank, the Rafidan Bank. All right, yeah. So, Rafidan Bank General Manager, Financial technology is the future of the banking sector in Iraq. So I was thinking this may be part of if you don't know, Friday or Saturday, they announced the next 2 months they're going to really be hitting the people hard with financial inclusion, education, brainwashing, right? So then this guy comes out and says, we've done all these things we're supposed to do. We have integrated vision based on investing in human capital, building strategic partnerships, and upgrading banking services in accordance with the latest international standards. And they are even training, he says, they've sent some of the staff outside of Iraq to be educated. And then they're talking about the new way the dollar is set up and how everything has to go through the auditors, and this particular one is K2, but I'm sure Ernst and Young is in here. Also, he talked about the ATMs and they're issuing a new credit card, but this is Rapidan Bank, right? They'll be issuing a credit card because there's other banks that already have their credit cards done, and they'll be able to be used globally. See, there's Ernst and Young. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Here's more about the two, how I said there was back and forth rhetoric. So here, Iranian Revolutionary Guard officers respond to our president's words. All right, I'm going to use words instead of the word they have there. And his picture was there. I don't know why it's not showing. All right, and then here's our guy. He expresses willingness to cooperate with Tehran if that is their goal. So in other words, the ball's in their court, but their response to the letter is on the way back to him. If he hasn't gotten it already, he should be getting it in the coming days. You like that? You like that? No, we hate that, don't we? But anyway, okay, this is neat. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. But this guy right here is Tabak Chali. He's rich. He's been studying the ISX and global financial stuff for years. And it's a video that's here. It's an hour and 2 minutes. It's probably going to be boring, but I'm going to watch it anyway. And if there's anything good in it, I will, of course, share it with you. But if you want to see for yourself, you click this link here and it'll take you to the page that has the link to the YouTube video. But here's a little outline of what they talk about. And then again, here's a link to that page that will have a link to the YouTube video. All right, so here's what I am excited about is the commercial, but it's not there. Let's see. I think this is it. All right, let's mute that. Let's full screen it. Okay, pause. So here they're in the grocery store, right? Yeah, a small grocery store. And here's the lady, and they purposely let her hair show. She has gray hair. She's wearing glasses. She's kind of frumpy, and I'll let it play because it's really short. She's thumbing through her dinars. She's taking so long, the cashier lady's playing on her cell phone. And then, oh, look at that. Miss New, look at her hair is all, it's highlighted and she's got a cute haircut. She's kind of dressed like businessy. And she just taps her card on the machine like, I got this for you, Ma. Yeah. So that's one. That's one of the commercials. So if you want to see that, it's, oops. Did I just turn that off? No, I didn't. It's down at the bottom of the block. All right. Oh, I said this was going to be short. Look at that. And we're almost at 30 minutes. Okay. So yeah, kind of boring, but so yeah, see what I called it? That's what if you read that there, that's what I called the commercial. So I'll try to get the other one that's even funnier to me. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. You don't have to ask me any questions. For those of you who heard today, I'm still in June. Nothing has changed. I go by the articles. The articles don't point to anything other than that, especially if you read what's going on with us, like I showed you in the articles, the back and forth rhetoric. It's not toning down, and we need it to at least tone down. But we're still on my timeline, right? So if there's a like, join, subscribe, follow, whatever button where you are, and many of you have clicked, thank you, thank you. Do that because I don't post regularly. So when I do post, if all things work as they're supposed to, you will be notified that I posted. So I will close as always with accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Yeah. Thanks again. I appreciate all of you. And enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon. We're going into a new month. Let's see what the new month and the new week brings us. Until next time.